Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to an all-new Talkin Movies. I'm your host, the real Geno Reynolds, and today we're going to be talking about a film franchise that just won't be stopped. Now, granted, I'm not saying that this is a bad thing. Today we're going to be talking about the newest Mission Impossible movie, Mission Impossible Fallout. During one of the IMF's missions, Ethan Hunt has to make a terrible choice, which puts the world in danger of nuclear terrorism. Now, Hunt and his team are in a race against the clock to stop an old enemy, and possibly an old friend, before it's too late. I just have one question. One simple little question. How do they do it? How do these Mission Impossible movies keep being as good as they are? Other than Part 2, which I felt was a minor franchise misstep, but that being said, it's a movie that I would like to revisit someday. The rest of the movies in this franchise have all been solid action spy thrillers. The stunts, the action, and the plot have always been entertaining at the very least, and incredible at its best. In my opinion, Fallout lands in that incredible category. Now, while I'll do my best to avoid spoilers for this review, there are probably a few things that might slip, so keep that in mind. Now, that being said, I don't want to ruin this one for anybody, so I'll tread lightly. While I did love this movie from start to finish pretty much, I'll talk about some of the issues that I had with it first. My biggest issue, which honestly wasn't that big of a deal, was the mystery villain. Hunt and his team have to track down a mystery man who is the key to tracking down the plutonium that was lost near the beginning of the movie. Long story short, after a lot of runaround, it is revealed who the mystery man is, and it's pretty obvious. That being said, it's fine because it's so much fun how the character gets revealed. Honestly, I thought most of the movie was pretty predictable, but I was having such a great time and enjoying the story that I didn't really care. The other issue that I have is an issue that plagues pretty much every action movie that has a timer sequence or timer scenes attached to it. There is a scene that involved a countdown clock that starts at 15 minutes, but probably takes over a half an hour to get through. Again, this is a minor complaint, but sometimes scenes like that can take the sense of urgency out of a movie. Again, great time, enjoying the story, didn't really care. So, what did work for this one? Pretty much everything else. The plot of this movie will keep you invested the entire way through and has the twists and turns, even though some of them are predictable, that it does have the twists and turns that you expect from a Mission Impossible movie. One thing that I've really enjoyed about this franchise that started with Part 3 is that they've kept the story continuity up with characters, their motivations, and the plot. I like that the villain from Rogue Nation, Solomon Lane, played by Sean Harris, returned for this one. While it's always cool to see returning characters in movies, there is something about a bad guy that isn't killed off that can come back and cause more trouble for our heroes. The stunts in this movie also live up to this franchise's standards. While some of them do border on the line of ridiculous, haven't they always? That's part of the reason that these movies are great. We get to see cool secret agents pull off insane stunts that are impossible. It's in the name, kiddos. The scene that was crazy to watch is the one that put an 8-week shooting delay on this movie. Ethan Hunt is chasing down one of the bad guys by rooftop and has to jump from building to building. It's been widely reported that Cruise broke his ankle during one of these jumps, and you get to see it. And they kept all of it in. He climbs up the side of the building and limps off after the bad guy after he busts his ankle. I have to say, I'm sure that they kept it in the movie as sort of a badge of honor for Cruise. Boy, it hurts to watch, though. Very cool scene, though. The action and fight scenes in this movie are pretty hard-hitting and brutal. You feel every punch and kick that these characters are throwing, and the movie doesn't really shy away from the violence. While you don't see a bunch of blood splatter or anything, there is a lot of people getting stabbed and shot in this one. The scene in the trailer where Hunt and Walker, played by Henry Cavill, are fighting people in the bathroom feels very reminiscent of the Casino Royale bathroom fight from the beginning of that movie. When it came to the characters, you get what you expect from all of them. Sometimes a little reliability is a good thing. Tom Cruise still proves that he can carry this franchise and will probably never stop. And honestly, I'm not complaining. I do feel that the movie does prop up the character's world importance maybe a bit too much in this one, but Hunt is seen as the best at the job, so I'll give it a pass. I feel that this is the franchise that he will always be remembered for and honestly should continue to make. I can see the character eventually becoming the leader of the team as Cruise gets older, if Lestat would ever finally begin to age, I mean. This franchise is still my favorite when it comes to Tom Cruise as an actor. Henry Cavill is a really good addition in this as the government assassin Walker. He comes off very intimidating in every scene that he is in, and is often the wild card in many of the situations our characters find themselves in. Oh, and of course, let's not forget about that mustache. Being that this is a way better movie than Justice League, I think that Paramount made the right call in having him keep it and forcing Warner Brothers to be the one to mess things up. Ever since Rogue Nation, I've really been a fan of Rebecca Ferguson. She returns as Ilsa Faust and quickly becomes the unknown factor of the movie. Her motives for getting involved in the plot only come clear later in the film. Is she an ally, an adversary? You have to watch to find out. Alec Baldwin returns as Alan Hunley, the IMF secretary, which he became at the end of Rogue Nation. While he's not in a ton of the movie, he gets a really cool scene in this one in which he gets to show just how slick he can be. Ving Rhames and Simon Pegg return as Luther and Benji respectively, and you get what you expect out of them, which is some pretty great scenes both in the comedic and serious varieties. So there you have it. This is a franchise that I'd love to see never stop, just as long as they keep making them as great as Fallout anyway. I've said this before about this franchise, but next time I'd like to see the team not have to quote-unquote go rogue or quote-unquote go against protocol to complete a mission. While them having their own government against them can be fun by stacking more odds against them, I'd like to see this franchise introduce another villain like Owen Davian, Philip Seymour Hoffman's character from Part 3, a villain that takes everything that the heroes have in their arsenal to stop. Still, if Ethan and his team still need to quote-unquote go rogue to keep giving us these fan-freaking-tastic movies, then you know what? That's okay too. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to go see this one. That's going to be all for this edition of Talkin Movies. If you like what you've heard here, please subscribe to the Real Geno YouTube channel, like this video, and if you have anything to say about this movie, please feel free to leave a comment in the section below. Until next time, I'm your host, the Real Geno, Geno Reynolds. See you later.